Here we go. All right, so welcome everybody to our webinar on supports and services through Disability Hub MN. My name is Tabiso Rowan. I'm a community engagement specialist with the Hub, and we have Jack Gordon here. He's one of our community capacity builders and really integral in building the foundation and the information of what we do at the Hub here, which is providing resources and services, but mostly resources is our main thing, being experts at finding what people need from a non-judgmental place that allows people to thrive, in their lives. So I'm so grateful that everyone is here. And I would just like to, I'll go ahead and kind of start off with a little bit of an introduction that we're going to be talking about resources that people might need. And these, the work that we do is not limited to these resources. These are just a few pretty common ones as well. So it's nice to get that information. So if there's any professionals here, people with disabilities or family members, anyone, you can definitely reach out to us if you have any questions. And I'll go ahead and put our phone number and website in the chat here. But yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Just got to get everything straightened out. And so I just like to say, yeah, my name is Tabiso. I'm a person with a disability, identify as a person with a disability. I had a spinal cord injury, and I have I use a wheelchair, and I use the, medical system and things like that for a lot of support. And so I personally experienced a lot of things, and, we all have, I love the disability community because there's so much diversity, and we really empower each other to, be ourselves and try and live our lives the best way that we can with the support that we have. So everyone that supports us is really, I cherish those people so much across the board. And I would, yeah, so I'm gonna, go ahead and maybe ask Jack a few questions coming from my own experience, and then Jack will, help me out. So this is kind of an experience of an example what it could look like, working with the Hub to hopefully find what it is you're looking for. And so one of the biggest things, Jack, is when I had a spinal cord injury, 14 years ago, healthcare is very important to me because I work with the medical system, all the daily. I use medical supplies and things like that. So, one big question is, I know there's private insurance, but for me, I was in a position, by needing so much, I needed medical assistance. And can you explain a little bit about going about maybe getting medical assistance or resources and how I can maybe navigate that space?
Absolutely. And healthcare can be a challenging and confusing thing to navigate. So let's go through it together. First, we can go on to our Hub website that has a lot of information for us that can help us with understanding both what medical assistance is, but also helping us with learning more about just how to access it in general. Let me go ahead and get my screen shared here. One second, everyone. Okay, so we're on the DB101 website. Under the Programs tab, I'll just show you what that is really quick, just so you can see that, and just kind of familiarity with the website. So under the Programs tab, it has a wealth of information. On the left, it has the cash benefits, so things like Social Security, and then on the right, it's all the health insurance benefits. So we're going to go under the MA overview article. I'm going to click on it. And just a couple things about navigation here. On the top of every article, you'll see that you can print it off, you can send it through email, and you can also give feedback. So if you see any broken links or anything incorrect information, certainly give feedback, use that feedback button, and we can check that out and make sure everything's correct and working for you. Going back to the MA overview, so medical assistance in general is a health insurance that can help with medical expenses. It can be used as a single health insurance, meaning only MA, or combined with other health insurances, depending on what other health insurance you may have. The confusing thing that can be is there's different types of medical assistance. Some that are income-based, so that's going to be dependent on how much your income is and how much you may have in assets. There's medical assistance that's disability-based. So if you have a certified disability through Social Security or the state medical review team, that medical assistance is offered through there. And there's another type of medical assistance featured in this article that's called medical assistance for employed persons with disabilities. That's if you're working and earning over $65 a month. It's a different way to access medical assistance. In each of these articles, you can see there's a little caret and a more. If you click on that, it'll take you right into the specific article, diving deeper, giving you more information of things like what are those income and asset limits, how to apply, links to the applications, what it covers, and more. Just to scroll down here, just some more information about what those different types of MA are and kind of how it's defined differently. So, disability based is for under 65. You can see all of these are under 65, and that's because there's another version of MA for seniors. So again, not to be confusing, but just to give you an awareness that there's different types of MA, which is just different ways to access it. Scrolling down here, there's a really great video that talks not only about health insurance, but also some of the other benefits, like some of the cash benefits and other supports Minnesota has. So definitely check that out. All right, that was a great question, Tabiso.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Great information. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. We actually have one more tool that go on with helping with insurance. So if medical assistance doesn't work for you, or if you're not sure if it would work, there's a tool to help kind of figure out where to start. So going back up into the DB1 article we were in, I'm going to scroll all the way up at the top. Going back into the programs tab. That very top option, finding the right healthcare coverage for you on here, is that tool I was mentioning. I'll just give a quick explanation about it too. So on the left, it's going to ask you for your yearly or annual income, what your family size is, and then in general, how much in assets you might have. So assets, they're not going to count one motor vehicle or the home you live in, but they would include things like a savings account, cash, bonds, property you don't live in, or if you have an additional motor vehicle, they would include those as an asset. On the right here, it asks you if anyone, you or your family, has a job that offers healthcare coverage, if anyone in the family is pregnant or has children, if anybody has Medicare, if anybody has a disability determination, or if anyone's 65 years of age or older. Depending on how you answer these questions, if you scroll down, it's going to highlight what your options might be. So with the current options I had up there, it looks like either MAEPD or Medicare could be an option. But if we scroll up, I'm going to change a couple options just to show you how this works. Let's say we drop it to $20,000 instead. And let's say they have less than $3,000 in assets and they don't have Medicare. But they still have that disability determination. Everything else we leave is no. We're going to scroll down and show that there's a different version of MA that might be available for them. And the nice thing about this tool too is if you continue to scroll down, the highlighted articles will be available to you at the bottom. So I just want to make sure you guys knew about that tool as well. Thank you.
Oh, good. Thanks for covering that. It's a lot of information. So, if it's overwhelming, definitely give us a call. I put the information, our phone number, and you can chat with us or email us during our business hours, 8:30 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So just service announcement, So, yeah, next question I have, is, I've been through the process of using medical assistance. I use a program, MAEPD, Medical Assistance for Employed Persons with Disabilities. So there's no income or asset limit for that, which is really beneficial. But with that being said, in order to be, certified, I guess, as a person with a disability, so I qualify for the disability-based medical assistance, what's that process like? I've heard of the SMRT, but yeah, could you go a little bit over that process?
Absolutely. So the state medical review team's certainly an option as a way to get a disability certification. And I'll love to go through on our website to show you where that is. So quick, I'll just pop, oops. Just gonna pop that link in the chat for everyone. If it will stop making me switch everything, sorry about that. Let me stop sharing my screen and see if I can get the thing in here. 1 second, everyone. Okay, well, I'll show you where it is. Sorry about that. My computer's just not cooperating with that. But we'll go on to our Hub website. All right, so this is the Disability Hub MN website. Looks similar to DB 101. Just a quick orientation to the website. You'll see at the top left above the green bar, there's the chat feature where you can chat with an options counselor. Our phone number is included, and as well as a way to email us. Going under the top topics in that green bar, we'll find information about the state medical review team. So if we go under the other category and click on SMRT or state medical review team, it's going to give us an overview of what that process is. Basically explaining it's a way to be certified disabled. The thing I really like about our website is it has these common questions over here, which is questions that we often get asked about these types of topics, and we'll include the answers for you. So things like, when should I use SMRT instead of a Social Security disability determination? Questions like, who is involved in determining my disability status? How does the SMRT process work, and what do I need to do? And just a lot more information. So I highly encourage you to check this feature out and get some more information about how the process works. And if you have further questions, absolutely give us a call.
All right. And I just want to let people know if anyone has any questions, they can go ahead and put them in the Q&A, and we will get to those at the end of our webinar. So we'll be able to answer some questions or see what we can do for you here. So yeah, appreciate that. And then, so medical assistance, I have the disability determination, as they say. And then, if I needed some support, I know that health insurance medical assistance only covers so much. And sometimes, I'll need like extra therapies or, maybe a PCA. I know medical assistance can cover that sometimes, but is there any way I can go about getting supports? Like maybe if I need an adaptable vehicle and need some funds because that can be expensive to do that. Is there anything like that could help?
Absolutely, that's a great question. So one of the ways is to be able to access a waiver program through medical assistance. And what we can do is on the Hub top topics under the Disability Hub website, if we go on there, we also see that we have waivers under the independence article. And it's going to give us a lot of information about what waivers are. And there's a tool that also helps review questions for you. Would a waiver help in your situation, and is it right for you? So let's go ahead and click on that review questions here. But in general, a waiver basically helps add additional funds to help support you in your life. So things like it could extend PCA services, it could help with home modifications, vehicle modifications, employment services, and more. And there's different types of waivers. So there are some differences in them, but in general, waivers will open up some additional funding to help with further services. To get started here, there's some questions to ask yourself. Things like, do you have any needs that are not being met currently? Or is your living situation meeting your physical needs, and do you feel safe in your home? So things like, are there barriers, are there stairs, or could you need grab bars or doorways widened? To think about how that could be, more beneficial for you. Do you have people in your life that can help you currently? And do you want more help than you're currently receiving? Down here, people you can talk with. So sometimes it can be really helpful it can be hard to decide or see all the types of help someone might need. For example, if my wife often helps me with something, I might not say that, oh yeah, actually I need help with waking up because my wife already helps make sure that, hey, she'll shake me or something if I don't hear the alarm, as a very simple example. But there might be some things that you might not realize that you need assistance with because someone's already filling that gap. So it can be helpful to talk to your friends and family and see what their perspective is too. And also reach out to us, your local county office or Centers for Independent Living, to see what services and supports could be available to you. Down here, tools to use and information to gather. There's the Charting the Life course integrated star. And I just wanted to show this really quick because it's a really great tool just to kind of take an inventory about what supports you currently have and what supports that you might want to lean into or investigate more to see if there might be further things to have a more holistic support that you can look into. Let's take a second while this is loading here. All right, I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger so it's not so itty bitty. Oh, pop-ups. Here we go. So basically, there's different sections. In the middle of the star, you can devote whether you want to have a focus of whether it's for employment specific or school or a goal, or just in general in your life. At the top, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully that's a little bit easier to read. It starts with personal strengths and assets. So what's within you that you already have to help support you meet the goal or focus that you're looking at here. In the purple box, there's relationships. So what kind of relationships do you have already that help support you? In the kind of lime green section is eligibility specific. So are there programs that you're currently accessing, housing or Social Security, cash or healthcare benefits that are supporting you? And the one to the left, it's the community-based. So are there community services that you're accessing, whether it's a church or a league or any kind of social groups or activities you might be in that's also showing support or helping you to be able to live your best life. That's a good section to put that in. And then the final box up here is technology. So are there things like apps or other assistive technology and devices that could help support you in your goal? And then when you take a step back after filling this out, you can really see, are there gaps or, could you maybe look at more technology or maybe more community services or eligibility specifics to help have more holistic support? This is a great place to start. You kind of take an inventory of where you are. The last thing here is a life trajectory. It's a very simple tool to basically kind of lay out visually what you do and don't want. Loading, hold on one second. Okay, there it is. All right, so in the purple box here, there's a vision for what you do want. And this could be for anything. I've seen people use this for what they want in their day, what they want in their week, what they want for their birth plan, their employment. So this really is a broad, open, flexible tool to use. So basically, what do you want? And then what you don't want. And then on the left here, above this arrow, you'll see that there's what steps could you take to help you get towards your goal. So it could be things like, meeting with a case manager or starting those employment goals, or again, it could be any steps that can help break it down to meet that goal of what you want. The one below this arrow is what things do you want to stay away from that would take you to a place that you don't want to be. So, things to avoid and things to go towards. And it's just a really simple, again, document just to help kind of plan out what you do and don't want for your future and to be able to share that with others. And in terms of a waiver service, that can be really helpful in talking about what services you do and don't want, what kind of supports you would really want, and again, what's important to and for you as a person.
So I keep myself off mute because I'm like coughing and I go on mute. So, and then I forget. All right. Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. So much wonderful information. Once again, there's a lot to digest. And so people, if anyone needs help navigating, please, once again, give us a call. And so, yeah, I guess so, I'm at a point in my, life with my disability. I call it when I have the anniversary of my disability, I call it my second birthday. So I get two birthdays, So this new life, as I'm navigating it, and people are always changing and have disabilities from the beginning, but we grow up, we become older, you turn, become an adult and maybe you're looking for more independence and you want to live the life that you want to live. And a huge thing that comes up in that area is housing, having a stable foundation. Do you have any information about how I could go about getting housing?
Yeah, absolutely. Housing, it's important to everyone to have a safe, stable place to live in. And we do have a website that has a lot of information to help out with. The website is hb101.org. And I'll show you what that website looks like. It looks very similar to each website. And actually want to point out each of these websites have links to each other. So if you're on HB101, for example, and want to look at something in the Hub website, all you have to do is go to that top and click on it and open a new tab so you can view it and won't lose your spot in that other previous tab. That's a nice little feature there. I'm going to show the homepage. So when you go to it first, this is what you'll see. There's a whole lot of information on this website. First, there's a housing search feature that can be really helpful. If you're in a situation where you're needing immediate housing services, there's a homeless services in Minnesota section. But the one I want to point out specifically is in these tabs here, similar to what we saw in DB 101. If we go into the situations tab, there's a whole section on finding a home. So if we go into this article, it first starts off, getting tongue-tied. First starts off with the basics. To figure out what you need, what you do and don't want, what kind of supports could be helpful to you, not only to find a home, but also help maintain that home once you're there. It helps weigh, whether you want to try to keep the current house you're in, or would it be beneficial to find it a different place, and to really think that through. Thinking about limits, are there barriers to the housing that you want? Sometimes that could be certainly affordability. I know with housing prices, that's definitely more and more of an increasing issue. But also it could be things like, is the place accessible? Doesn't have the services that you need there? Or are there other things that you might need for further support? We have in our vault, so on each website, there's a vault activities. And with the housing section in particular, it has some great activities that really think about what you do and don't want for your housing, to explore what kind of supports to look for. And this is the link right there. However, to use these, you would have to sign up for a vault account. And I'll describe that in a second, but I just want to make sure we go through the page. But also talks about finding ways to get help with paying for rent. Things like, are there programs to help lower those costs? Would a roommate be an option for you? There's definitely tons of options, but it can be challenging to navigate. So definitely feel free to give us a call if you have any questions on anything you see on the website, or just want to talk it through instead. We can certainly work with you with that. But there's lots of information about in this article in each section. So highly encourage you to take a look at it too.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, there is one more thing that I wanted to make sure to mention. So going back up to the top, all the way to the right, there's these pro guides. So if you're trying to help someone else find housing, it can be really helpful to take a look at this section. It just lays out all of the articles and activities in one go through. So if I go and open this little caret under help someone find housing, it has the housing search tools here. It has a lot of articles about different programs that might be helpful, like housing stabilization services, which can help someone find housing and then help try to maintain that housing. Key feature of that one is if they have medical assistance. And if you read this article, it'll go through all of those details for you. This article talks about different types of housing and programs that might be available, places to help find housing, and more. Also including, if you have barriers to housing, like a record. There's beyond backgrounds that can help with that too. So there's just lots of options that could be available to you.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jack. It really, really is can be life-changing, this information. And so I guess okay, so now I kind of have the basics of like the not the basics, but the foundation set in a way, you know. But you know, being you know, I definitely love the disability community. I actually appreciate the wisdom and understanding of life that I get through having a disability. But you know, I'm my own person and I want to live my life, and sometimes I need other supports and services to do that as kind of a stepping stone to be able to do those things. And there's also other things that beyond the foundation that are can be foundational, but are that can help in other areas, basically. So, is there any information you have about that? Finding other things that can help?
First, just give us a call. I think that might be the easiest, is we can help ask you some questions and see again what's important to and for you, and really try to help give those resources and keys to help get you going. But another place, just again in that DB 101 programs tab, is a really good place to start too, just to see what other supports are available. So just as a reminder of how to navigate there, we'll go back on the website. I'm just going to click DB 101. You know, back under those programs. And then here, just to show a little bit more, so those cash benefits are on the left. If you see that kind of 1980s camcorder, it means that one of those videos are embedded, usually under 5 minutes, helping break down and explain how the benefit works. But it goes through Social Security benefits, both SSI and SSDI, Minnesota supplemental aid, short and long-term disability insurance, housing, which is a huge topic, certainly includes things like housing support, Section 8, and other programs that can help pay for housing. There's MFIP, SNAP, and general assistance, child care assistance, and energy assistance, which it can help with utility bills. So not only with the healthcare programs on the right, too, it talks about all those healthcare programs. I also wanted to point out, since we talked about waivers briefly, there is a section on DB 101 about waivers and the differences between each two. So it just gives you a little bit more information as well, and just another resource to check. But again, certainly give us a call and we can help navigate and talk through the options.
And I guess based off that, you know, off this question, is there like specific stuff I can only ask, or you know, if I'm looking for like a park or programs that you know like to do sports or you know what I mean, recreational activities, is it okay if I call the hub for that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Yeah, the hub has a very open door policy. So you can ask us just about anything and we'll try to get you the answer. If we don't have it, we'll try to connect you with somebody who does. So there's really
Awesome.
no wrong question for us.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Um, and then let's see. So we covered, okay, just to retrack, you know, we covered healthcare, disability determination, you know, housing, you know, other supports and services. And so like if I'm looking for some help navigating this stuff, or even like, you know, it's like a I know they have like if I call the county or something, they'll have like a case manager or a social services agency. Like, is there any information about finding help with navigating some of the specific programs that you mentioned earlier?
Absolutely. So a caseworker, or sometimes people would say social worker, case manager, there's lots of terms. Advocate is another one. Basically, somebody to meet one-on-one with you to work on goals. So there's lots of different options out there. Through the county is one of them, but also you can call the hub and we can see if there's other nonprofit organizations or other places that can offer those similar supports too, like the Centers for Independent Living, for example.
Yeah, yeah, definitely good resource for sure. Okay, that's yeah, just so much, like I said, so much information. So once again, if anyone, you know, needs some help or just has some questions, or even if you forget everything and you just want to start off, you can definitely give us a call, chat with us online and put it in the in our chat here, or you can email us. So I'll put the information there. And
Even if you,
then,
oh,
go
sorry
ahead.
to be interrupt. I just want to point out, even if you don't even know what your question is, that certainly is okay too. Sometimes people call and just say, I just need some help. I don't know where to go. That's a perfect place to start too.
Oh, good. So super reassuring actually to, have that support. Sometimes it's hard,
Yes.
navigating these spaces and find just where do you start, So yeah, that's really good information. And then, and I've, a lot of, we talked about housing and that, becoming an adult and like sometimes the transition piece can be really tough. And I know for me, one of the toughest places was after, I, got adopted into the disability community, I like to say. And so like if you're new, if you have a new disability or starting from the beginning, like you said, if you don't even know the questions, do you have any information kind of around that subject?
Absolutely. And as a parent who has a daughter with autism, I certainly didn't know where to start or where to go either. There isn't a rule book or a place to start, so we certainly want to try to fill that gap just a little bit here if we can. So going back into this programs tab on DB 101, if we scroll all the way down near the bottom, there's a new to disability section. So this can be really helpful place to start. Talks about resources, benefits, and laws to help support you, and whether it's a sudden onset or if you find out you have a progressive disability, as well as there's a story about how Susan became disabled and what happened through her journey. It can be really helpful to see an example of in real life what happened to somebody and what options or what things that you might need to or barriers face as well.
Awesome. Good. Such an amazing resource, just to even have that information. It's like, yeah, I'm really, really grateful for everything that, the hub provides. And you're, like I said, all the information that you have is so major. You're like a library. So, and so, yeah, with that being said, I guess at this point we can open it up to questions. And I know I believe there's one question that came through. And we'll start there, but yeah, go ahead. Feel free to pop any questions in the chat or the Q&A. There should be a Q&A tab. To kind of scroll down to the bottom of the Zoom screen and hover, you should see the Q&A. You can ask a question through there as well, or through the chat. And we had a question come in from, it's anonymous, but it says, if it is an adult child living at home, is family income including only adult child or parents too?
That's a great question. And that depends on a couple different factors. Things like, is the person paying their own fair share of rent and food? So I would encourage you to give us a call and we can get more into a bit more specifics and help you kind of decide what might the county look at that. But again, it's technically absolutely always up to the county or whatever agency it is, but we can help you try to navigate that a little bit more.
Awesome. And then I did have a question come in regarding employment. It's a really good one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of resources that can help with employment, whether that's Evoke Rehab or if there's other nonprofit organizations that can help with employment services, whether that's helping start a resume, helping find employment, or helping maintain that employment too. So certainly give us a call and we can help you get some local resources that are close by.
All right. Thank you so much. And then, yeah, I don't know if I don't see any other questions coming through. Let me just make sure I'm covering all my bases here so I don't miss anything. Yeah, it looks like we covered everything. And like I mentioned, this is being recorded, so we will post the recording on our YouTube channel, and we should have a link on our Facebook page. And so people can contact us that way. And then, yeah, Jack, do you have any insight in contacting us?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can either contact us through the phone. If you'd rather chat, there's the chat feature on our websites. Also the email feature too. So if if you're like me and thinking at 2 a.m., oh, I should ask this question because I forgot to ask it while I was actually there, you can just send us an email. We'll try to get back to you within 2 business days.
hmm And yeah, just to piggyback on you there, you can reach us at, I put it in the chat like I said, but you can reach us at 1-866-333-2466. Once again, 1-866-333-2466. You can go to our website, disabilityhubmn.org, or give us a chat. You can go to our website to find the chat, or disabilityhubmn.org /chat, another /. Yep. Yeah, and so with that being said, yeah, definitely feel free to check out our Facebook page, and you can follow us, and we always are. Every weekly we post, information, resources, updates, things happening in the community. I mean, we're a statewide agency, of course, so there's a lot of information, but we have a lot of resources on our website, and a lot of information in terms of, how to navigate getting resources as well. So, yeah, with that being said, I really want to give a big shout out to our closed captioner here, our captioner, Jessica, thank you so much. And Joe, our ASL interpreter, we really appreciate, the help and support that you guys bring us in our community. And really, thank you for your work. And then Jack, of course, big thanks to you for everything you do, all your studies, and yeah, so I really, really appreciate that. And the biggest thanks to everyone who participated. Hopefully you got a little nugget or something, or just some information that might help you or help someone, at the end of the day, really help them live the life that they want. As an advocate, that's a, big mission for me, is to say that it's important to dream big, as they say. So I thank everyone so much, and we won't keep you too long. And yeah, once again, if you would like, give us a call. All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone. Take care.